Shonen Express here, bringing you my very first delivery. I've been so excited to make these videos. I've always wanted to do manga reviews, so I'm really happy to finally have the opportunity to do that. My plan with this channel is to deliver to you manga reviews 3 times a week, on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I've picked 3 different series, all running in Shonen Jump right now, to bring to you reviews every week. On Sundays, I'll bring you a review of One Piece, one of my favorite manga of all time, and one that is sure to continue to be a success in the future. On Tuesdays, I'm going to bring you a review of The Promised Neverland. The Promised Neverland is an upcoming series. It's over a year old. It's one that I really enjoy, and I really think you all will enjoy my reviews of it as well. And lastly, on Thursday, which just so happens to be today, I want to review a brand new manga in Shonen Jump, only 7 chapters long so far, called Tokyo Shinobi Squad. I really have a lot of faith in this manga, and I hope it goes far. That's why I'm beginning the reviews of Tokyo Shinobi Squad. Without further ado, let's get into my delivery of Tokyo Shinobi Squad, Chapter 7, Assassins Unleashed. This chapter was really good this week. I definitely enjoyed it for several reasons, but we open up on a conversation with Jin, Papillon, if that's her name. I don't really know how to pronounce her name, so I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. If one of you does know how to pronounce it, please put the phonetic spelling down in the comments. I'd love to see that. But those two, Maki and the manager, talking about the assassins that are after Maki's life, Maki being the supermodel that we're currently protecting. His name is Hyosui Negumo, and he is the leader of what's called the Seigen Squad. And Jin outlines how dangerous the Seigen Squad has been. They've gone from entertainment industry to entertainment industry, assassinating key figures that the morning talent agency wanted assassinated. And so they're an extremely dangerous group, an extremely effective group, and their leader, Hyosui, is extremely effective. Throughout this conversation, it seems like Maki, the supermodel, is like unprepared, or she doesn't really care about the fact that her life is in grave danger. She just wants to walk this pixie runway and do this big show because it's important for her career. But she doesn't seem to really think that she's a target of these assassins or really understand the danger she's in. Papillon tries to tell her what kind of danger this is and why Papillon and Jin need to be with her. But Maki decides to go to the gym anyway because she needs to train no matter what. And so they accompany her to the gym. Once they're at the gym, Papillon and Jin do rock, paper, scissors, where Papillon does this weird kind of gun-looking scissor motion, and Jin says, "Your scissors look so weird." Like, I think that that's going to come up later, but I'm not totally sure, but let's watch out for it. If you think you know, if maybe it's a Japanese thing and I didn't catch it, please leave it down in the comments. I'd love to know what's going on there. But Jin loses, and so Jin has to be on support. And so this gives us an insight into another one of Jin's special ninpo abilities, Magnetron. I love Jin's magnet-related powers. I think they're really cool, and how they produce electricity is awesome. But in Magnetron, Jin creates an electromagnetic field that allows him to see everyone in the area. Seeing this, Jin determines that it's safe to go inside the gym, and so the three of them enter the gym. After they enter the gym, we immediately cut to Hyosui Negumo. I'm gonna keep messing that up. But Hyosui Negumo, sitting in his lair, I guess, with his squad, the Seigen Squad, probably around him. It says negative 57 degrees Celsius, which is extremely cold. Like, too cold for people to like really survive for any period of time, for any long period of time. But he seems to be sitting in there comfortably. I'm going to go ahead and guess this has something to do with his ice-related abilities that we haven't quite seen yet. We saw a little bit in the last chapter, and obviously we get a little bit more today. Some of his people come to him and say, "Hey, we found Maki. She's at this gym, but she's guarded by Jin Narumi, the main, one of the biggest shinobis." Because we know Jin's a well-known shinobi in Tokyo. And Hyosui pretty much says, "I don't care. Go and kill her." And if you can't kill her, come back to me with information on Jin at least. And so he kind of threatens them, and they end up going off to the gym. At the gym, the first thing we see when we cut back is a picture of Maki doing her exercises, and this is definitely fan service for us. But then we get a flashback to why she's working so hard. I thought it was interesting. Most manga, I've actually never seen in manga highlight how hard it is to be a supermodel. Most times people are like, supermodels are just, really hot, and that's how they make money. But this mangaka is really trying to highlight how difficult it is to be a supermodel, even having Papillon say that to Jin too, how hard it is to work. But Maki, we get a flashback of her arguing with her manager about how her manager isn't her dad. This clearly shows that Maki has some dad issues. Her dad left her, I guess, at an early age. As we know, this dystopian future of Tokyo is messed up. There's crime everywhere. So we know this is already a problem. So it's not confusing to say that Maki's father ran off, but we know she's going to have dad issues, and that's going to come up, I'm sure, later in the series as well. After this, some of the Shonen Squad members enter and appear to shoot what looks like a rocket at them. Seems a little excessive for an assassination attempt, but they make the attempt anyway. They shoot the rocket, and since Papillon won the rock, paper, scissors that her and Jin did earlier, she is the main fighting force. She charges forward, and we finally see her ninpo technique. We don't get like the full scroll description like we got with the others, but she says ninpo stitching technique. So we know that her ninpo has something to do with her clothing and something to do with stitching. I think that's a really cool idea. It reminded me of Bayonetta, how Bayonetta's hair kind of becomes the other parts in the video games, and that's kind of how her fighting style is. Definitely Papillon is set up to be the fan service kind of character, as she has to use her own clothing to fight. But she surrounds the rocket launcher and it blows up in the clothing bundle. And everyone's saved. And we end the chapter with her threatening the guys from the Shonen Squad. And they're like, whoa, this is somebody from the Narumi Squad. And definitely scared of what Papillon is capable of. Now, I think that we've seen a lot of things in this chapter that are going to be helpful going forward. We've got a little bit of what Hyosui Nagumo's personality is like. He's vicious, he's cold-blooded, you might say, because he's the ice guy. And we definitely see that he has the potential to fight Jin in a heads-up fight. I think it'll be really cool because I don't think that we've really seen Jin yet be, worn down in a straight-up hard-to-win battle. So I'm really excited to see them fight. I also want to know the full extent of Papillon's ninpo techniques. I think that the stitching thing and using clothing is a really cool idea. I'd love to know what she's able to do with that going forward in the future. I also want to know what happens to Maki. What is gonna go on going forward? Is she gonna realize that this is really dangerous and figure out, okay, I definitely need these guys' help? Or is she gonna be stubborn and keep going? I think she'll definitely keep going to the Pixie Show, and I think that's where eventually we're gonna have that confrontation with Hyosui. But only time will tell. So that's all for this chapter of Tokyo Shinobi Squad. How I'm going to rate these chapters, I know a lot of YouTube channels, they'll give you a number rating, a score rating at the end of the chapter review. What I want to do is a little bit different than that. I want to give you a number. I want to give you something to kind of go off of as you walk away from this review. But what I want to do is I want to give you the place I put it in all of the manga that I read every week. So I read a lot more manga than just One Piece, The Promised Neverland, and Tokyo Shinobi Squad. I read a lot more every week. So every week, just like Shonen Jump has rankings, I'm going to give you the Shonen Express rankings. And in the video, I'll tell you what rank it got. This week, the 7th chapter of Tokyo Shinobi Squad placed 7th in my list. And I'll put the whole list down in the description so you can see where all the other manga that I read rank up. And if you read some of those other manga, you can even throw some comments out for those too. I'm really excited to get this channel off the ground, so thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next delivery.